Mr. Phillip Paulwell, a former minister of government who have served us well in the past. Challenge is now being faced. He needs our prayer, not our wagging tongues, making assumptions and drawing conclusions, many of which are baseless. Let's leave it to the reality of the facts. We appreciate the work that our police has done to bring it to where it is, so that we have found what the bodies and we know what has happened. I don't want to rehash it. We are all aware of what the news has said concerning the matter, but it is screaming loudly at us. Let me tell you spiritually how God works. Whenever things are happening, when it begins to hit at the very top, it is God who is trying to say, do something about it, because very often we don't wake up until it comes right on our doorsteps. It is at our doorsteps. We must tackle the problems and deal with them now, and deal with them in a manner that will produce again what? Real change. That's the issue. So again, I ask, please, let's be praying and supporting Paulwell in his situation, and the many other families who we know about, who the murder problem has come to their house. But if we do not solve it now, it will come to your house. So we can't keep thinking it is down the road. It is at our doors. And in what we are seeing in the nation, with a scant regard for human life, that you can pay $500,000 to have someone killed. In some cases, we know $15,000, $20,000 can have someone murdered. That is telling us something is fundamentally wrong. And what is fundamentally wrong? Not only is there a moral crisis, but that moral crisis has come to a level where it is telling us that it needs drastic action, because there is no honor for human life, no sacredness on human life. And that increases because it is also telling us there is no fear of consequences. A society whose laws have no fear of consequences is a society out of order and will only deteriorate in disorder. Because if people do not fear consequences or believe there will be for their behavior, they will do anything. In such an environment, no one is safe. Our leaders are not safe. The citizens are not safe. And as we have been seeing, our children and elderly women are not safe. We cannot just fold our hands and sit back and say, that's so sad. No, the time now says action, and I'm calling on my government. Come on, we can deal with this matter, but we must listen to the principles of the wisdom of the Word of God, the time-tested, proven principles, and not listening to persons and organizations beyond our shores who are trying to tell us how to solve the problem from their own failed societies that cannot work, telling us that there are no fear of consequences. Capital punishment, it don't make a difference because there is no fear. Absolute nonsense. I've said before, and I'm declaring it again, and I want a debate. Let's open up and talk about it with those who believe that nonsense. I said before, I'm saying it again. Gangs all across the world maintain order within the gangs. The mafia maintain its own order. What drives it? Fear. What did we use to have the whole world crippled with COVID? Fear of death. Consequences of death creates fear in the life of any human being. And if the fear of one's own death does not affect one's behavior, then that person themselves is suggesting that they do not deserve to live. Because if they have no regard for their own life, then how will they have regard for the life of another? So come on, let's stop and think, man, and not listen to this stuff which has a different agenda. So let's get back to the table and look what we are going to do to deal with the problems of this nation. It is our responsibility. It is the responsibility of our government. And I remind our government that the two fundamental responsibilities that are first for governments is justice in a society and the defense, the security of its people. And when we are not able to do that, it raises question signs around those who govern. So come on, let's just get back and do the thing right, because we see a lot of good happening in our nation. We are trending in the right direction, so we cannot let just one section destroy everything because we are not using wisdom. We are using the fear of what others may say or do. Come on, government. You cannot be ruled by fear. You must be guided by principles. And principles that work is what must drive action.